J Jinx!
Truck stop!
As the title of the video says, I have some complaints. I put out more than one video, I think, extolling the virtues of this little multi-tool. But I've had problems with this one. And for comparison, I'm going to bring out the old one that I got in a TSA confiscated package from eBay for comparison. So, a few things. First of all, at work, I tried to use this thing to cut some wire in the tool that they call a wire cutter, that wedgy bit down there towards the bottom of the pliers. I was cutting 28 gauge nichrome wire, which is pretty easy to cut, it's pretty thin, and it couldn't do it. Instead of cutting, it basically slipped and kind of went in between. And I know that since it's a thin wire, if it's going to slip and kind of go in between the jaws, it's going to be with a thin wire, but come on, man. It ain't that thin, and it's not like it's steel. But anyway, so that's complaint number one. So I was like, okay, fine. I guess I'll try it with the scissors. And same thing happened, which wasn't too unexpected, but then I used the scissors for cutting paper at some point, and it started slipping again. And I'm like, maybe it's not supposed to have any rattle to it, any looseness to it, because I had trouble cutting paper. To be fair, it wasn't super thin paper. It wasn't super thick paper either. I wasn't cutting cardboard. It was somewhere in between. I would call it construction paper, like somewhere in between regular paper and cardstock. So I'm like, well, shit. I remember cutting paper with this one. I remember cutting wire with this one. And then I started cutting things with the blade. And that's when I was really like, oh, come on, man. All right. So here's where I want to show you a comparison. So first of all, when I open the blade on my old one, you get a nice satisfying snap. With this one, no such thing. And there is a hint of play, but not much. But there is, however, a lot of back and forth play. Look at this. I can pull it all the way back like that. Not so with this one. It is solid, which tells me that there's an issue with its back spring. So you see the back spring on this one connects there. And the back spring on this one, not so easy to see, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't align very well. It's like the back spring's a little bit too short, so now it kind of pulls back a little bit. And furthermore, there's not much resistance to closing it at all. And as a consequence, it just is really awkward to cut. So to demonstrate, I got a spool, well, not a spool, I got a bundle of 550 Ozark Trail paracord in J Jinx Orange. Well, it cuts that. Where do I start pulling out? A piece like that. So if I take the blade and I do a cut, that's what happens. It cuts. Now when I go to my green one, my newer one, watch what happens. The blade bends backwards a little bit, and then it moves forward like that. So when I want to cut something else, I got to put it back into position and repeat. And I don't really feel comfortable with the blade springing forward like that at all. So yeah, it's disappointing. And when closing it, because the spring on this one, I think the leaf spring is just made bad, you get a snap with this one. not with this one. So, disappointing. I had such a great time with this one. I'm like, I'm going to get a new one because the scissors on this one are loose-ish. But so are the ones on this. So I'm like, well, what do I do then? Like, did their quality control just go down the shitter? Which a lot of companies, that is going on. Or did I just get a bad one? So I opened a ticket with Gerber. It was easy to do. I jumped on their website, filled out a claim form. I sent them a photo of the blade, bent all the way back. And I'm like, look, it shouldn't be there. It's there and it shouldn't be there. And then I got an auto response that said, we have a huge backlog right now, which, hey, that says something right there. We should get back to you in 3 or 4 weeks. And that was 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I still haven't heard anything. So what I'm hoping will happen is they'll say, okay, send it in. They'll check it out. They'll probably send a new one. And maybe it'll be better. Maybe it won't. It might be a fluke, or it might be a pattern. But I didn't want to say nothing after talking about how great these multi-tools are, and then having that kind of experience. I just wanted to be genuine and honest. So stay tuned. I will update you with what happens. In the meantime, if you have an older Gerber Dime, hold on to it. It might be the best you can get. I guess we'll find out. I mean, if I really wanted to test it, I would go to 10 different stores and buy 10 different ones from each and do a full range of testing, but I don't have the time or the money, and I shouldn't have to do that. Anyway, that is all. This has been JJ Jinx, Truck Stop Dimes.